Hello, my honeys. This is Kamara with the Black Dove Oracle. Thank you for joining me again for another pick a card. This pick a card is going to be about the key to healing your inner child. Now, before I get into it much further, I've got to say this, you all. In just even doing the divination of the cards, your initial cards, it's so powerful already. So one thing I've got to let you know is that I believe the power of these readings is they're getting stronger because we are forming a consciousness around the community of this channel. And that's not a gimmick or anything. It's real. Some of you will say, wow, some of your readings feel like they're personal readings. And the reason why is that if you keep coming back to this channel and interacting with me, like maybe you like the way that I read, or you like some of the topics, then we are already bonding, you all. And in that energetic bond, I'm tapping into your narrative, your story, maybe even something your guides want communicated. So I definitely believe in our relational power. And I want to say, first of all, if you're a subscriber, thank you so much for supporting this channel. And if you are brand new here, it is by no mistake. It is not even random, because we are building something very strong in this community. So, thank you. Back to the pick a card. You may have noticed some artwork at the beginning of the reading. That's there if you want to use it to pick your groups. There's 3 groups. I am going to show you a card from one of these 3 groups, and it's going to be random this time. That's what I'm being told to do. So it may be the top, it might be a middle card, or another card underneath. So these are just the oracle parts of the card of the reading, and then we do some shuffling of the tarot decks. So we're going to do that, or you may choose with the timestamps below in the description. So group number 1, what card would be good to show you? Prism. Group number 1, the Prism card. Group number 2, Golden Crown. Group number 2, Golden Crown. And group number 3, Selkie. Selkie. Group number 3. So take a moment. With a pick a card, you can usually choose one pile that you are gravitating towards, but you may decide to watch more than one pile, all of the piles. You're welcome to do that. And again, go with your best choice and start there. I look forward to seeing you in our different groups. Thanks so much, my honeys. Hello, group number 1. This is Kamara with the Black Dove Oracle. And this is your pick a card on the key to your healing your inner child. Now, you may have chosen this group through the artwork at the beginning of this reading, or you may have chosen this group by numbers, or maybe this image here that we picked. Hopefully there's enough light here. The prism. Let's lay out all of your cards, the oracle cards first, group number 1. Spirit is saying something Very interesting about your inner child. You have free spirit. You have follow the stream. You have kitchen witchery. And you have the Page of Swords. We're going to do a little bit of an energy check on your inner child thus far, group number 1. And then we'll be using the tarot cards to dive deeper into whatever the message is around the key to healing that inner child. But right now, let's do a little bit of the energy check. Just in case this doesn't seem like it fits for you, there's 2 other groups. So, the prism. It could say a few things, right? That the healing that's before you, group number 1, it has to do with a certain point of view, a certain belief perhaps that you hold, but it could also be a point of view, which could be a little different from a belief. I mean, beliefs will inform how we see things, right? But there is, I'm hearing specifically that it is specifically around something and how you're seeing something. Spirit is pointing out to me that you have always been a bit of a free spirit, group number 1. You may even be a fire sign or have fire placements really prominent in your chart, but there's something, and you don't have to, because I also see water here, so, you know, especially if you're Scorpio energy, I even see here too, but definitely all the fire signs, Scorpio in terms of the water signs, but again, don't get too hung up on the signs. We all have all signs in all of our chart, and we could tap into those energies at any moment. But what I'm getting here, group number 1, you're quite free. And I'm also hearing, not me making a judgment, not my guides, but I hear impulsive. So there may be people around you, group number 1, that sometimes feel like when you are in that mode of needing to feel free, needing to kind of get away, that you do things rather impulsively after that. Like you'll take off, you'll buy a plane ticket somewhere, you'll take off from work for a few weeks and not tell anyone. I'm getting, and this is very specific, but you all put it in the comments below if it does resonate. It's like you don't do it all the time. I mean, if you did this all the time, there might be other reasons why you're doing something like that. But when you get in the mood, I'm hearing, and the mood meaning you're feeling like you're a little tied down. You feel like a little weighed down. You may even feel like overwhelmed with all your responsibilities. When you get in that mood, when suddenly you're kind of like, I feel like I'm in prison. There's something like that, like very dramatic. You'll be like, you'll just disappear. Or even if you don't disappear, you only tell like 1 or 2 people, I'm gone. I'm gone for a month. I just need to get out of here. I need to do my own thing. And some of you are very successful at what you do. And if you work for other people, they put up with it. They put up with it because they know you're going to come back stronger. If you're a creative, you're going to come back more creative. Your juice is flowing. If you're not a creative, you're just going to come back really clear-minded, ready for the work again. So the people who work with you, or the people you work for, some of you all work for yourselves, other people work for other people. Either way, the people who are around you, whether they're colleagues or whoever they are, they understand your rhythm of work. They understand that you work best under certain conditions, and those conditions may not mimic what the typical workforce does. Do you get a lot of hate at work for it? If you work for somebody else, you do. Your colleagues are jealous of you, because I think it's not a hidden fact that if you do have a boss or a supervisor, they love your work. They love your work. They would be helpless without you. You're really that person that maybe you're at an age right now where your friends are like, listen, you're really good at what you do. You should strike out on your own. You may even have your parents telling you that. You know, everybody's like, listen, you're just too good to keep working for so-and-so. But there's, and you can let me know if this resonates, but there's a little bit of a relationship you have with the person you work for. And I know some people right away are going to go, oh, it's romantic. No, I don't get it's romantic. Maybe for a small group of you, it's not romantic, but you want it to be, or maybe there's like some crush energy there. That's for a small group of you, now that you mention it. But there's also a group of you that this is no. The person you work for, there's a bit of a parental relationship there. This person, they've always seen you. And maybe somewhere, everywhere in life, except for that job where you work right now, you've always been pretty invisible, maybe a little bit alone. Not always socially, more like alone inwardly. But this boss, this supervisor, or the owner of the place that works, you know, you all take it where it resonates. Whoever it is that you have this parental kind of relationship with, teacher relationship, whatever you want to call it, it's like this person sees you. They really do. Maybe you started when you worked for them, maybe you didn't have the skills that you have now. This person might have taught you a lot. And they didn't have to. You get what I'm saying? Like, this person could have just had you do exactly what they hired you to do. Because whatever it is, it's like they didn't have to share any of their knowledge with you. And you would have not really progressed much further than what you were hired to do. So it was something that this person really took a liking to you. Really saw your talents and your skills. Take it where it resonates, but some of you may have dropped out of school. Some of you just didn't really have the parental guidance, you know, to like really plan for life. Suddenly you're graduating high school, you hadn't even applied for college. You know, like, I'm not saying those are the exact situations, but stuff like that, where your parents might have just been real hard workers who didn't know much about the school system and, you know, systems of applying for this and that. You know, like, a lot of those things had to have been, you realize later, planned and organized by you. And in some senses, you learned that a little bit after the fact. So you ended up at first, you know, just having to get jobs. And this job, this is somebody's story because I'm seeing it, hearing it. This person, they might have hired you first to like do something really menial, like sweep the floors because you didn't have any experience or something, or bagging groceries, whatever the job was. But then later they were like, here, you know, like, I noticed that You do a good job, you come on Saturdays before we open and I'll train you how to do produce. You know what I mean? These are examples, y'all. And the next thing you know, the little 2 hours of tutoring before the store opens, you now are in charge of the produce section. Somebody took a chance with you. And you didn't just do the regular job of getting rid of bad fruit and vegetables. You made sure that was the best section of the store. Like when customers will come in, they'd be like, damn, this is clean, fresh, everything's crispy. I don't know why I'm getting to this example, you all, but it's stuff like that this person saw in you. Like, oh, if I give them something, they always bring it to the next level. That's what this person saw in you. They saw in you someone who needed a chance. Maybe they knew a little bit of your background. Maybe they knew one of your parents or both of your parents. There's something about this person. Either way, I went off on that tangent because I think it's an important part of something that you're being called to do to heal yourself, group number 1. Because you are definitely going to be called to heal yourself in a way that is more of a self-development opportunity. But you're going to have to trust this opportunity. It's not coming wrapped in the same way that you would normally work. If it is a job opportunity, if it's a school opportunity or a research opportunity, it's something that's Spirit's saying it might be in a different location. It might be somewhere that you've never lived before. There is that story that for some reason Spirit just had me like follow a stream, which is quite literally what this card says, follow a stream. It was like suddenly I was just seeing that relationship to you, like why you would hesitate to leave wherever you are right now currently, group number 1, and pick up and go somewhere so that you could be free, so that you could leave behind maybe a lot of things that have anchored you to one kind of existence. But in doing that, because some of you may have come from really tough childhood experiences, and this relationship, it feeling that void of parental care for you, even that's been so valuable to you, priceless. You couldn't even put a price on it. Being directed to the kitchen witchery. Yeah, there's something about the care that you get from this figure, parental, some of you, whatever. This figure has given you something that's made your life feel abundant finally. You finally understand when people say money is not everything. And you don't, it doesn't mean that you don't like money or don't want it. It's more of like, you get now what people are talking about. Yeah, you cannot buy this kind of care. You cannot hire someone to give it to you. There's so many people starving for it. And by chance, when you were a teen with nowhere to go, you got this job. And from there, this person continuously built you up, propped you up. You could do this. You'd be like, okay, I want you to manage the whole store. It was all those things. And they say, I don't want you to stop there. Where are you applying for school? Like, what are you doing? This person was always making you apply for school, helping you read over your application. This is someone who cared about your future. They saw you didn't belong just there. You know what I'm saying? It's deep. That relationship comes forward again. Group number 1. So, I mean, you will know if this is your group because you'll have a relationship like this. Someone deeply cares for you. It could be someone you're related to. Let's go to the tarot cards. So what is this all? There's something big about your inner child, though, and this relationship with this person and what you have to do to heal. I actually feel like this person has been a healing for you. You needed someone who cared for you like that. But there's also like this question, right, of you now moving forward in your life, benefiting from all the care that you have been getting. And I can see in some people there would be this thought of, I don't want to appear ungrateful, but I think you're missing the point of this help, of this assistance, even this love. It was meant to help you grow your wings so that you could fly, group number 1. Let's see what the hoodoo deck will not lie to us. Yeah, look at that. You've got 2 of Wands. Even the hoodoo deck is saying right now, group number 1, you have choices to make. Big choice. As you look over the horizon, as you look over your life, choices exist. Look at that. 3 of Wands even. Another card of like dreams. Are you living for your dreams or other people's dreams? Group number 1. So your inner child healing has everything to do with you taking action as a King of Wands and forging your life based on the life you want to have. Group number 1. Not the life that would please everyone, not the life that will get you a few awards and accolades, but the life you have got to lead. That is the only way that your inner child will not feel truncated in some kind of way, because that inner child right now just wants to please a parent. Do you get what I'm saying, group number 1? The path that you may have chosen for yourself may be the path you're choosing right now because you want to please a parent from a long time ago, that this little child wanted love from, but it was always conditional. And right now, that inner child is still looking for that parent. That inner child still wants a parent to please. But you are confusing someone's genuine care for your growth with being a parent that needs pleasing. Let me know in the comments, but this person does not want you to be their child. This person wants you to have joy and happiness in your life. And they see that could happen. Your stability, your growth can happen if you had skills. And this person gave you skills, and one skill was consistency, care. So it's up to you, group number 1, to break bonds of codependency and do life that you have been trained, you have been gifted. Sometimes some of us, we don't know how to accept a gift. We don't know, we make the gift into something that it was never meant to be. The gift was meant to set you free. That's what I'm hearing, group number 1. So, I'm going to leave you here, group number 1. If you resonated with any of this reading, please consider giving me a thumbs up. It's a great way to help me grow this brand new channel, and I really do appreciate it. And if you like the way that I read, please consider subscribing and then clicking that bell so that you get notified when I upload new readings. If this is where we part, thank you so much, group number 1. It was an honor to read for you. Take care. Hello, group number 2. This is Kamara with the Black Dove Oracle, and welcome to your pick a card reading on the key to healing your inner child. Now, you may have chosen this group with the artwork at the beginning of this reading, and that's time-stamped if you ever want to take a look at it. Or you may have chosen by some other means like numbers, or you may have chosen by this card that I showed earlier. This says Golden Crown. And if you look at this card, it's just given all kinds of like illuminated chakra, crown chakra. But let's put out all of your cards, group number 2, and do a bit of an energy check. You have the High Priestess, but this is the Mamiwata card in this deck. You have Apothecary Cabinet. You have Water Codes. And Deja Vu. Water Codes says ancient wisdom, the intelligence is within you. And I was told it goes right underneath this golden crown. Group number 2, there's something very deeply intelligent about you. Definitely above average. Even if you've never, quote unquote, tested, you know what I'm saying, like do these, like, how do I say, government or educational sponsored tests to test your IQ. Even if that's never happened for you, you are, whoa, above and beyond the intellect of the average person. And in some ways, I'm saying for maybe a small group of you, you have always been assumed to have learning disabilities, things like that, but actually you never did. Actually, it was quite the opposite. So there's something there in your narrative of being miseducated, but in the funniest part is that you're a miseducated genius. don't get offended by that. It's just like the educational system was too dumb for you. And it had never seen anyone of your intellect, so it pathologized it. I feel like your life could definitely be like a documentary of some sort, group number 2. Because you're rare. You're very rare. Whoever's in this group, you all are a rare species of intellect that is strengthened by your crown chakra. Like you have inherited, Spirit is showing me kind of like this golden string, a golden string of fire that illuminates from your crown. But they're saying that there's a very small group of people in which this is the case spiritually, and it has something to do with otherworldly rank. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing you all are of high spiritual rank in other worlds. Wow. Yeah. Group number 2. And you all are, getting awakened by these water codes. It says here, ancient wisdom, the intelligence is within you. Wow. So group number 2, I know this is going to sound wild, but there is a certain kind of code that has been embedded in you. It's ancient. It's not anything that could happen to you in this lifetime. This is ancient genetic code. And that ancient genetic code is now becoming active in you, group number 2. It's awakening knowledge that, in a weird way, you're feeling like, I don't even have to study this. Like, I kind of feel like I know this already. Kind of feeling. For some of you, this is quite obvious around healing. Some kind of herbal wisdom that you have. You have your ability to talk to plants. I feel like you were inspired by Dr. George Washington Carver. Like, I feel like you were inspired by that story when you heard that he spoke to plants. I think there's something inside of you that use that as inspiration to start developing relationships with plants. Now, I think you're using that as inspiration, but at the same time, when you begin to practice this, it was as if that ability elevated you to know what formulas to use, how to create formulas. If this hasn't happened, I'm seeing this for someone, that your knowledge is going to start awakening. You are going to quite literally understand who you are at the high priestess level and what it will mean, because it's not quite deja vu, but it's gonna feel like that as your senses awaken to this you that's actually been you, group number 2. You're gonna feel deja vu happening all the time. You're gonna be like, I knew that I don't know how I know you. It's gonna be like that until you are able to kind of shift into trusting that these codes are here by design. They are not here to hurt you. Some of you have been told that you shouldn't hear the voices of spirit. But I gotta tell you, the voice of spirit is never mean. The voice of spirit is never harmful. So that is how you know the difference between hearing the voice of spirit, which uplifts you, which guides you, to the voice of something else that is not in your best benefit. And it is just advisable to never listen to the voice of anything outside of goodness, outside of love. Don't listen to those voices. So there's something here that as it awakens inside of you, group number 2, you're just being directed to trust, to use your best discernment, but to trust that there's a specific reason why you are awakened with this gift. Very specific. Meaning, Spirit is saying to me right now, only you can do what you are getting ready to do with this gift. It should not be transferred to someone else. It cannot even be accepted by anyone else. Only you. I hear that one very loud and clear. Yeah, because it is going to put you in a highly visible position, group number 2. It's not only something some of you do want to be in highly visible positions, and if you do, this is it. Even if you do not, you will be. And so this awakening comes with certain things in place. One is high visibility. Yeah, and many choices. Your life will not look the same anymore, group number 2. There's just more access to things. If some of you were anxious about what's going to happen next, if some of you were experiencing some kind of anxiety or depression, you're going to, as this awakening happens, it may mimic things like, well, I don't want to say mimic. I'd say it may just look like heavy anxiety. It may feel like panic attacks. Whatever it is, it's like a shifting that's happening. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't go get help. You most definitely get all the medical help you need and should do. This is not about that. It's more about also recognizing that at the energetic level, you are also shifting. You're also in need of a kind of care here as you move forward. And that system that's inside of you, it's giving you that. Oh, but hold on. Let's see what's under here. Yeah, it's giving you that. There is something here, though, group number 2. Be careful of putting everything out there in terms of the things that are happening to you right now, the shifts that you're going through, the plans that you're making. I would lower the volume on that. There's someone it's interesting. There's someone who I feel like is not in your inner circle, They're kind of like 2 stages away from your inner circle, and they have a huge eye on you. They are just watching you. And I don't know, there's something there about you just kind of being more closer to the vest on your plans for now. Wait until they're ready to bloom. Wait until you've already sent the email. Wait until the book has already been hit the shelf. You know what I'm saying? Just do the work. The same energy is there. Your guides are even saying that. The same energy is there. If you work on it in silence, the same energy is there as working on it with a bullhorn. They're like, the energy is there as long as you're working. You don't have to worry about who knows what and who's thinking what, because it all kind of gets solidified once your creativity and your projects or whatever you're working on is finally born. Group number 2. Whatever emerges from this wealth of ancestral knowledge that you have, it changes the whole game. So you don't need to preempt it. That's what I'm hearing from Spirit. You don't need to preempt it. It's already, it's happening. Just do the work. Just get your water codes. Just start working on your own system, your own beautiful nervous system. That is how that inner child is just going to heal and blossom, because its nervous system has been tended to. Its emotions have been finally recognized, validated even in some cases. This is important. This is so important. One moment. Okay, I think I'm still recording. Sorry, I think there was just like something went dead. So anyway, what else? I said this is important because these are the ways that you are going to heal yourself from maybe just a lifetime of feeling like it was always going to be something painful for you. Things are going to shift for you. It's going to awaken new knowledge for you. You're going to re-experience life in this lifetime. Group number 2. Very happy for you. It's a very powerful way to reclaim your life. If you like or resonate with anything in this reading, would you please consider giving me a thumbs up? If you like the way that I read and want to stay connected, please consider subscribing to this brand new channel and then clicking the bell so that you get notified when I upload new readings. If this is where we part, I've been so honored to read for you, and I hope that we connect again. Take care. Hello, group number 3. I'm Kamara with the Black Dove Oracle, and this is your pick a card on the key to healing your inner child. Now, group number 3, you may have chosen this group from the artwork at the beginning of this reading, which is timestamped below, or you may have chosen with this card or some other means, but you chose the Selkie. The Selkie has a very interesting story about fishermen capturing them because when you remove their coats, they become beautiful women. And so If you like that book, Women Who Ran with the Wolves, there's a story in there about the Silky. Either way, it's funny because the sentence on this card says, come out of hiding, embrace who you really are. It's a weird saying in comparison to what I just shared about the Silky being kind of forced to hide, because if they came out of hiding, they would be imprisoned, right, by these fishermen. But the card is saying, come out from wherever you are. So I really feel like that's something that's happening for you in life, group number 3. Something that contradicts. Let's bring out the rest of your cards. Oh, wow. You got... Okay. You have choices, shape-shifting, nirvana, and hoodoo man, which is like the emperor. You know, group number 3, I think being behind the scenes has been very beneficial to you so far. So far, not now, but in the past, in the recent past even, it's been beneficial to you to be the back of the house person, so to speak. The invisible investor, the, you know, not the CEO, but the CFO or the COO. You know, like, it's been beneficial maybe even to your nervous system. Not so much that things, you don't want those positions. It's just that you have grown accustomed to a little bit more flexibility. I saw the word malleability, but I was, of course, rightfully so concerned that I could pronounce it. But group number 3, there's a situation now where you are going to be required to make a choice. It's going to shift your role in a way in which people are going to be like, oh, I didn't even know that was you, or I didn't know that you were capable of doing something. And here's what I want to say about that group number 3 is that whatever you've been kind of taking a back seat to, and you all, excuse my words, I hope you're not getting activated by this, because you might be saying, no, I was just someone's partner that has different roles. And some people might get activated that I'm saying you took a back seat or this and that, when you're like, no, we just divided the work and this is how it happened. But I'm going to tell you this, group number 3, the minute that your roles will shift, you are going to see your shit blow the F up. That's just how I heard it. You are going to experience the biggest glow up ever, because that geometry wasn't working out. It just wasn't working out. But here's why it wasn't. Well, here's how the geometry happened, right? That inner child of yours, it may have in the past never been that safe to be very out in the open about your gifts, about your talents, your skills. You might have come from a household where it was seen as you kind of looking uppity, or maybe that's putting you to look like, you're not the stereotype of, or you're not being this enough, insert whatever identity. Constantly being judged because maybe your interest or maybe some of the things that you like were not attributed to your culture. So group number 3, there's a way in which you have been masking yourself. You have been You've been putting yourself in that background for so long because it was never you. But I'm not sure if you were, maybe for some people, they didn't feel like they were in a safe enough environment to be themselves. That could definitely be the case. If this is not about culture, it could be about sexuality. It could be about a lot of things. You all, please take it where it resonates. But it's like you are finally feeling like you can remove or put back on the thing that helps you to be in your identity for real. So group number 3, a large part of you being in your realization, which is the Emperor card here, the Hoodoo Man, a large part of you realizing exactly who you are unapologetically has to do with being in your happiness exactly as who you are. Take off the mask when you need to. Because shapeshifting is also talking about utilizing your tools for your safety as well. But also being that person you need to be. So, yeah, let me see if there's anything who the cards want to say. Yeah. You have Ace of Cups in reverse. 3 of Baskets. One more card before I... Yeah. That's how it's for group number 2 too. There's be careful of new people you're meeting. I mean, just kind of like give yourself a little time to get to know people. Some people at first are going to be kind of like laying it on. I don't want to say breadcrumbing as more as I just want to say they're really emotive and really like, oh my God, I just love that we just met you, and oh my God, and like they're they're going to be very emotive around how they feel very lucky that they've met you, and that this is something that's divine or whatever it is. And I don't know, Spirit's just saying kind of like your healing process is as an inner child healing process. It's so much around being exactly who you are, and like kind of taking away the layers of protection that you've built up around yourself, but also to not be just throwing yourself out there indiscriminately. There's still people in this world you got to watch out for. You know what I'm saying? There's still people in this world who like to sniff out people who are new in their journey of beginning to love again, beginning to feel these feelings again. And you just want to be protective of that baby new you, you know? Because you don't want to, we're not, you're past all of the depression, you're past all of the drama and stuff. This is done for you. But you had to work for it. You had to earn it, group number 3. So why don't run and just give it away indiscriminately to someone who hasn't done their work, who hasn't even been thinking about that? Okay? You're more than that. You're so much more. Yeah. Spirit sees. Spirit sees you. And Spirit says they don't want you to be harmed. And they know that you're tired of waiting. But be careful of an upside down King of Wands. This is someone who's they can be narcissistic. They're very good looking. Goodness, it's going to be hard to resist an upside down King of Wands. They just are a seducing kind of energy, but they're almost not very palatable either. So this is what I mean. Like, you're like doing the battle between I'm attracted to this person and they're an A wipe. And some people will be like, well, if I just do a one night stand, I'm like, what's the worst? It can get worse. Y'all be careful. This is somebody, trust me, Spirit is saying you would do better without this person in your life. Like, don't even give them entree. Yeah, be an empress. But in terms of your inner child healing, it's to know and trust your gut on your judgments about people and moving with those judgments, to not be swayed. It's like, nah, my gut is telling me you're just bad all around for me. You can just be like, no thanks, I don't need the coffee after work. Nope, yeah, thank you. And you can rest and be okay with that, because you're working from a new framework. It's not social pressure anymore. It's like, is this right for me? So group number 3, it's a lot for you around just that opportunity to finally be yourself, not a mask of who you are, not a replica of someone else's dreams, but your own. And being okay when you need to elevate one aspect of your personality and kind of suppress another part of your personality. Like, it's just part of you taking care of yourself, keeping yourself out of harm's way. And so to understand, we are all shapeshifters. We are all shapeshifters, navigating these seas of these lives, And that's all we can do, is learn from our mistakes, learn from our life lessons and relationships. And when we do that, we've mapped it out. We're good. We know how long to stay here. We know when to leave by then, and we're good. We know by certain answers that people give us about certain things if we want to push further or if we want to move back. We've just mapped it for ourselves now. It works good. It doesn't need an upgrade. It's based on sensory inputs of live body scans done by our own divine inner wisdom. A1 technology. That group number 3, I believe you are the creator of. You're being directed to stop all this thinking and get to moving, probably. A few more cards. Yeah, you're coming out of that hermit mode if you have been in one, group number 3. And you're gonna experience some fun. You're gonna reawaken parts in you that you thought weren't there. And, you know, these are all based on choices, right? So if you resonate with any of this reading, group number 3, can you give me a thumbs up? And if you like the way that I read and want to stay connected, can you please consider subscribing to this channel? It's brand new and it's an easy way to support the growth of this channel. Thanks so much. And if you have any requests for readings, please put them in the comments. I do eventually get around to filming them and I love doing them. So for everyone, thank you for taking a listen. Peace.